I'm Michelle Newman from Sunrise on Wheels. I hope you'll enjoy today's episode. We have 3 segments. First, I'll take you on an adventure to the Great Barrier Reef, where we'll see some amazing sea creatures. Next, our friend Caroline will show us how to make a crab and a stingray. And finally, we'll play Under the Sea Trivia. I hope you'll play along. Today, I thought we should take a journey to the Great Barrier Reef, located in Australia's northeast coast. There aren't many travel experiences more rewarding than having a close encounter with a wild animal in its natural habitat. And the ocean, covering more than 70% of the Earth's surface, is teeming with a variety of beautiful sea life. Today we can enjoy watching a variety of fish, dolphins, whales, and sharks go about their day while being briefly accepted into their world. Australia's Great Barrier Reef is an amazing place to do it. It is the largest coral reef system and the biggest living structure on the planet. It sprawls over a jaw-dropping 1,400 miles, an area so large it can be seen from space. To visit, we must take a boat more than an hour off the Queensland coast to visit one of the more than 3,000 individual reef systems. Now is the fun part. We get to jump in and get up close and personal with what's under the sea. Your choice is whether to snorkel on top of the water or scuba dive with an oxygen tank and dive about 40 feet deep. My husband and son fell in love with scuba diving. The Great Barrier Reef was their very first time diving, and now they're certified. I tried, but it was too scary for me. I like to stay on top and snorkel. No matter which way you experience it, this complex maze of habitats, meaning places where animals and plants live, contains an astounding variety of marine life, including fish and turtles, whales, sharks, and so much more. Let's look at them specifically. We'll begin with the famous cute little orange clownfish. The movie Finding Nemo has made the clownfish one of the most famous fish around. They always make me smile. What about you? Clownfish are relatively small and only grow between 2 to 7 inches, and they live for around 8 years. Did you know that all clownfish are born as males? They only grow into a female if their family needs one to make babies. Pretty odd. A special relationship exists between the clownfish and the sea anemone, not just in the movies. It's where they make their home. The sea anemone is a marine creature that is dangerous to most other sea life. It uses its toxic venom to paralyze its prey and eats it up. But I guess it likes the clownfish because they live happily together. Clownfish are omnivores and like to eat algae and plankton. They help keep the sea anemone clean by eating any bits of food that are not fully digested by their companion creature. In the movie Finding Nemo, one of Nemo's friends is Dory, who is a blue tangfish. This fish is beautiful, starting off as mainly yellow with some blue spots. As they grow into adults, they change to a bright blue color with a small yellow tail. It's an oval-shaped fish with a hard beak-like mouth that scrapes algae from rocks. Also known as a surgeonfish, they get their name from their scalpel-like spines along the top and bottom of their bodies. This contains a poison that can cause severe pain to any predator, including you, so don't eat one. The giant clam is a beautiful sight to behold, and as its name suggests, it's huge. It weighs more than 400 pounds. It's the largest of all mollusks in the world and can live up to 100 years. They're really stunning in color when open. Beautiful bright blues, purples, and greens make it quite easy to spot. It feeds on passing plankton, which it siphons from the water it draws through its large opening. There's a common myth that these clams could trap a person. That's false. The shell moves far too slowly to cause any distress to a person. Look, that's a beautiful seahorse. It's a pygmy seahorse. It is a master of camouflage by adapting its body to closely resemble the sea fans, the soft coral it calls home. Despite living in the sea, seahorses are poor swimmers, and most of the time they stay still with their tails wrapped around something stationary. a little trivia. Do you know what a baby seahorse is called? It's called a fry. Funny. Large populations of green sea turtles nest on the reef. It gets its name from the green fat that is stored under its shell and its greenish-colored skin. It's the biggest of all sea turtles in the world and can grow to 4 feet and weigh 440 pounds. It feeds almost exclusively on seagrass and algae. Baby turtles begin life when they hatch from an egg. Then they must crawl across the sand to the water's edge, hopefully avoiding any swooping birds. They then venture into deep water to stay away from predators. These endangered turtles can live up to 80 years, almost all of which is spent underwater. They routinely dive for 4 to 5 minutes before surfacing for a gulp of air. What about sharks? Well, there are many sharks on the Great Barrier Reef, but will you see them? Only if you're lucky. Most are harmless to humans unless you specifically provoke them by trying to feed them or grab hold of them. And it's really unusual to see them when snorkeling, as they are more likely to be in the very deep water or the bottom. Almost all sharks are carnivores. They like to eat fish, turtles, large sea mammals such as dolphins and seals. Because their teeth and jaws are so strong, it's no problem for sharks to chew up or rip through tough skin, bones, or hard shells. Let's look at a couple. The black-tip reef shark has a pointed snout and black tips, especially on its dorsal fin. It's athletic and energetic. They catapult their body out of the water, rotate themselves before falling back into the sea, and they often do this while hunting for small fish. The tiger shark is a larger gray shark with tiger-like markings on the side of its body. Their teeth are unique with very sharp pronounced serrations and an unmistakable sideways pointing tip. They swim slowly, and with their color, they're difficult to detect. Despite their sluggish appearance, they're strong swimmers, and once its prey comes close, it can speedily catch it before it can escape. Fun fact, tiger sharks give birth to at least 10 pups at a time. Oh my! Hammerhead sharks are easily identified with their flat T-shaped heads. Its eyes are wide set, allowing for great 360-degree vision. And their favorite meal is the stingray, which is completely flat and has the innate ability to lie on the ocean floor and completely camouflage themselves. But those hammerheads can find them. The world's largest fish is the whale shark. While its size is whale-like, its skeleton is made up of cartilage, not bone. It breathes through gills, and it's cold-blooded. So not a whale or a mammal. They have 300 to 350 rows of tiny teeth, use filter pads in their mouths to strain plankton out of the water. Whale sharks are completely harmless to humans. They eat small organisms like krill, crab, and fish eggs, small schoolfish, and jellies. But the one shark you will not see on the Great Barrier Reef is the great white shark. They hunt in much colder waters. The warm waters of the Great Barrier Reef hold an abundance of food and are the perfect feeding grounds for marine mammals, including a large number of dolphins and whales. Whales visit the Great Barrier Reef to give birth, allowing the young calves to build up body fat for insulation, so they can survive the returning journey back to the Antarctic's icy seas. They're quite social and easy to spot from May to August. Humpback whales are large, can reach lengths of 52 feet long, and weigh over 66,000 pounds. They have the largest pectoral fins of all whales. The males sing to get dates, and it is an amazing sight when you see a humpback whale breaching, meaning leaping out of the water, as well as their exits, which amazingly end with a tail and a fin slap. This may not only be fun for us to watch, but some scientists believe it's a form of communication. What do you think it's saying? I love the fun, playful dolphins, powerful swimmers. Bottlenose dolphins show an innate ability to escape from predators due to a combination of smarts and a top swimming speed of around 23 miles per hour. They travel in large groups and can be frequently seen surfacing and playing in the wake of a ship, and occasionally leaping out of the water in spectacular fashion. Their diet consists of smaller fish and marine life, including squid, crab, and other small creatures. They're renowned for their teamwork in rounding up prey, much like herding farm animals. To locate their food, the dolphins use a form of natural sonar. based on echoes and use it to determine both the location and distance of their potential target. Yet another sign of their smartness. Look, there's a spinner dolphin. Watch the amazing natural acrobat of the sea. They are gorgeous-looking slender dolphins with a very long beak. The females give birth to a dolphin calf about every 2 to 3 years. They stay close to their mother, drinking her milk to grow big and strong. When the calf is about 6 or 7, it stops drinking and enjoys a lifetime of eating fish. Box jellyfish are one marine animal you do not want to find yourself swimming among. They are famous for the venomous sting. The Australian box jellyfish has thick bootlace-like tentacles up to 10 feet long. These tentacles are covered in what are essentially poison darts. So pay attention if there are any in the area. You don't want to be swimming among them. The last animal we should explore is the coral, which makes up the Great Barrier Reef. There are 600 different types of coral in a variety of shapes, sizes, and a rainbow of colors. Coral belongs to the animal kingdom and is formed by little animals called coral polyps. Think of them as tiny inverted jellyfish with tentacles like sea anemone that excrete calcium, which form the limestone skeleton on which they live. There are 2 main types, hard and soft. Hard corals are essentially limestone houses with floors, outer walls, and rooms. Soft corals are flexible with a jelly-like feel and are often mistaken for plants. They lack a solid skeleton, are very brightly colored, and have 8 tentacles of a feathery appearance. Their branches provide a safe and rich habitat for fish, prawns, sea slugs, and all kinds of marine life. Climate change is the greatest threat facing the reef. Rising water temperatures and poor water quality from pollution are a threat to the reef and the marine life that depends on it. Saving the reef is a big task, but there's hope if we all do what we can to protect the environment. Well, it's time for our journey to the Great Barrier Reef to come to an end. I hope you enjoyed the journey and had fun seeing all the amazing creatures found under the sea. See you next time.
Hi, my name is Caroline and I'm so excited to do another craft with you today. Today's video was about the Great Barrier Reef and we're doing 2 crafts, a crab and a stingray. For these crafts you will need blue paper, red paper, and white paper. And if you don't have the colored paper, you can use white paper and you can color it. Scissors, googly eyes, and if you don't have googly eyes, you can either draw on the eyes or you can cut them out with paper. You also need a black marker and glue. First, we're gonna make this crab craft. So to start it, we're gonna fold our red paper in half so that when you trace your hand, you can do it twice. And I'm tracing my left hand and I'm using my right hand to trace it because I'm a righty, so that's a little bit easier for me. So first, I'm gonna trace my hand all the way around and make sure to do it not too close to the edge because we want to be able to cut the bottom to be round. So first, you're just gonna trace your hand. This is what it should look like when you trace out your hand. And then we're gonna cut it out. It's a little bit tricky, but it's okay. So now that both of them are cut out, we're gonna put them on top of each other and we're just gonna make it a little bit more rounded at the bottom. So those are both of the hands. And now we're gonna glue them together to make it look more like a crab. So now we're gonna make our crab's body. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put both of the hands opposite like this, and the thumbs should be next to each other. So first, we're gonna glue one hand to the other one. So it should look like that. And now we're gonna glue on his eyes. So we're gonna glue them on right on the tops of your thumbs. And what we're gonna do is, I'm using googly eyes. So if you draw on your eyes, you wanna draw them right there. And if you put paper, you also wanna put them on like the googly eyes. So I'm gonna put them on so that they're partly coming off, so that it looks like they're coming out of their head. Like that. Now we're gonna make his little pinchers that go onto his hands. So first you need your red paper, and I'm using my scrap paper that I used before. And I'm just gonna fold it in half because we have to make 2 circles, and this way we make them both at the same time. So now I'm gonna cut out a circle, and they should be about that size. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut out a little triangle like that. And now you have the pinchers left, and I'm just fixing them so it should look like that. And then do it to the other one too. And then we're gonna glue them on our pointer fingers and glue them a little bit on and a little bit off of them so that they're also coming out just like the eyes. Like that. Now we're gonna make the crab smile. So first, you need your white paper and anything that you can draw with, and then cut it out. So I'm using a marker, but you could also use a pencil or a crayon. And first, I'm just gonna draw a big smiley shape like that. And then we're gonna go back down and then back up again like that. And then we're gonna cut this out and glue it onto his face. Now we're gonna glue on our smile. So I'm gonna glue it on right about there. And then I'm gonna use my black marker and I'm gonna draw in my smile so that it looks like that. And that's our crab craft done. Now we're gonna make this stingray craft. So first you need your blue paper, but you don't have to use blue paper. You can use any color you want. And we're gonna hold it the long way. And then you're gonna fold down a triangle like this and push it down really hard so that it stays. And then, like that. And then we're gonna cut off the rectangle on the end so that you have a perfect square piece of paper. Now our paper is a perfect square. So now we're gonna cut our triangle. So you have to make sure that the folded side is here, and we're gonna cut on this side. So you wanna cut strips about that size, and you wanna go almost to the edge, but not all the way to the edge. So about until there. And keep on going all the way down the triangle, but don't go all the way to the end because we wanna leave that for the tail. So now it should look like this, and as you can see, I left a little bit of room at the end for the tail. So now we're gonna open it up, and just to make it a little bit easier, we're gonna fold it the opposite way. So we're just gonna fold it along the line down the middle so that it's just a little bit easier to do the rest of it. So now open it back up again, and we're gonna take our glue stick and we're gonna start folding and gluing the strips to the middle. So starting with the first one, I'm gonna take it and you're gonna fold it to the middle so it should look like that. And then do it with the other one too. And you're gonna want them to overlap just a little bit. So it should look like that. Now it should should look like this. And as you can see, when I was gluing them into the middle, some of them popped off when I was doing the rest of them, but that's okay because there just probably wasn't enough glue. So you can go back and put more glue on and just make sure to really push them down in the middle. The next step is we're gonna make its tail. So as you can see, there's this shape at the end of its body, and we're gonna make that the tail. So you're gonna flip it around so that it's over here facing you, and we're just gonna cut from the end towards the center and make sure that it looks pointy because this is its stinger. So now it looks like that. Now we're gonna make his head a little bit more round because it's not supposed to be like this sharp. So now we're just gonna go to the top and make it a little bit more rounded. So it looks like that. And the final step are his eyes. So I'm just using a black marker, but you can also use paper or you can use googly eyes. And I'm just gonna draw 2 black circles on his head. So that's our stingray. As you can see, I made one stingray before and I made one with you, and they both look a little bit different, but that's okay, and yours might look a little bit different too. Same thing with my crabs, they look a little bit different, but that's okay. I hope you had fun doing these crafts with me. Bye!
Welcome to Under the Sea Trivia. Hope you'll play along. Question number 1. What sharks will you not find at the Great Barrier Reef? A, great white shark, B, hammerhead shark, C, whale shark, or D, reef shark? Which shark will you not find at the Great Barrier Reef? And the answer is great white shark. Number 2, if this is in the water, stay out. The green sea turtle, the whale shark, box jellyfish, or spinner dolphins. Which do you not want to be swimming with? 4, 3, 2, 1. And the answer is that box jellyfish.
Yeah, that's good. They look pretty scary.
Question number 3. Which of these statements about the Great Barrier Reef is not true? It's the world's largest coral reef system. It can be seen from outer space. It has very little sea life. Or you can snorkel. It has very little sea life. Number 4. What does a whale shark, the largest fish, eat? Other fish and plankton, sharks, people, or all of the above? What does a whale shark eat? It's a hard one. And the correct answer is other fish and plankton.
Oh, I knew that, but for some reason.
So unique about seahorses. The female can survive out of water. The males are fast swimmers. The male gives birth instead of the female. Or small fish like to ride on them. I think that last one is a giveaway. Let's see. What do you think? The correct answer is the male gives birth instead of the female.
It's a little strange.
It is strange. Strange but true. Question number 6. How much of our planet is covered with the world's oceans? 10%, 25%, 50%, or over 70%? I only said this one,
but I can't remember. I can't remember either. I can't remember.
I think you could guess. And the correct answer, 70. Question number 7. Where do corals live? In warm, shallow seas, the cold Arctic Ocean, on the seashore, or in the garden? Where would you find corals? 3, 2, 1, and the answer is warm, shallow sea. Woo! Let's go to question number 8. What are coral animals called? A, sponges, B, barnacles, C, polyps, or D, tubes?
Ooh.
Those little coral animals, you wouldn't have even thought they were coral. They look like plants, but they're not. And the answer is polyps.
Oh,
I didn't get that right.
Number 9. Which sea animal uses echoes to find their way? A seahorse, B, a dolphin, C, a whale, or D, a whale shark? You remember this one? 3, 2, 1, and the answer is a dolphin.
this was so interesting, this video for me. There was a lot of things I really didn't know.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that. Question number 10. Which of these animals is a mammal? A, clownfish, B, turtle, C, whale, or D, shark? Which of these animals is a mammal? I don't even know if I necessarily said it. I kind of implied it. There is a whale.
Yay.
How did we all do?
Linda won. It was close. Very close.
Yes.
Very close. Well, I hope you enjoyed playing Under the Sea Trivia. See you next time.